All right, once again, we're on. From whichever corner of the globe you hail from, good morning, good evening, town folks. And in the words of the infamous Curtis Wilson, it's the weekend, baby.
Uh, yes, it
And
is. Finally.
yes, and for the moment, I'm joined by my good buddy here, ODT Reaper.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's at least staying safe and staying healthy. Healthy is the key. Hope
Yeah,
in this wonderful conversation.
yeah, better than our commander in chief. Well, oh, okay, that's too soon.
No, in all seriousness, I hope he makes a speedy recovery because being stuck next to your wife the entire time must suck.
Yeah, you can't go chasing and groping all them nurses and everything like he wants to. That's
No,
right.
buddy up in the air. If we actually get a hospital that's on the helicopter, is actually going to be kind of cool. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Oh man, but yeah, but as you said earlier before I hit the start button, karma is indeed a bitch, and
uh, Depends what type of karma we're all actually kind of about to be talking about, over the next couple weeks, though.
well, it's basically it just seems like a lot of people are getting their comeuppance, and for my topic that I'm rolling into right now is like it really is starting to feel like karma has came for Sony as well.
Yeah, no, well, I don't. I'm kind of having too much fun on Twitter at the moment because I was basically, retweeting everybody's, well wishes and all that kind of stuff. But it was kind of humorous because people are kind of keep, activating these games will not be on Xbox, and I look at all these games by name, and I'm like, well, that's nice. I don't care. Not that I don't care because they're not good games, because I don't actually have interest in games that he listed as a come up. But the one that I retweeted that he responded to was all the Bethesda acquisitions that we're all excited for. So, but I also agree because I was just listening to the Mooch stream, and the guy that was on his stream was telling would I actually ban Elder Scrolls, and he's like, hell no, and I'm like, well, I would actually ban Elder Scrolls on PlayStation if I want everybody to move. So that's where we differ. I actually would do it on the largest platform, though, but as platform is going to be an optional option because it's just going to be an app at the end of the day. It doesn't really bother Phil very much. It's just like more options, more access is a good thing.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that unfortunately, the way it's not because of the fanboys, but it is because it is the nature of the business. Despite how fast the business may be growing, it's only growing but so fast, and unfortunately, locking down exclusives still at this present time kind of matter.
Yeah,
And
but like when you activate, and this is kind of where I was kind of having too much fun listening to everybody's opinion throughout the week. Was everybody's talking about console sale, console sale, console sale. At the end of the day, when this is all done on xCloud, and this is all done throughout Game Pass, and this is done throughout Game Pass Ultimate, that now, as I had said before, is going to add EA access. Props to Dr. Phil for actually doing that for us, because that's awesome. But at the same time, the more apps that turn into this actual access, the more, consumer it allows. If you only have one box that allows this experience, there's no growth available in this, model that Sony is trying to push, which is why at the end of the day, it's not going to matter because everybody's going in one, iOS direction.
hmm now if they were smart and weren't so quick to pull the cord and kept the their Vita, then the Vita could have like act as a streaming device, and they could have just
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, it could have.
because technically, I mean, that's kind of what it kind of was in a sense. Was it was a standalone mobile,
Yeah,
portable.
now we got the televisions and we got the Surfaces apps that are coming around in different different forms, and everybody just thinks that everything is on an Xbox. Now I know this is not really true, more of say on Twitter nowadays, but back in the day everybody just thought it was only Xbox One models that exist, to basically promote the exclusives, whatever they may be. But that's not true because it's now going to be an app on multiple devices, and multiple includes growth. So I don't care whether you be on a tablet, I don't care whether you be on a PC, or even a television eventually. Eventually it's going to be on a television, everybody. So
they already worked it. They already worked that deal with Samsung, man.
Yeah.
So it's happening.
It's not,
happening.
And whereas Sony is kind of locked in place on what they can use to basically advantage themselves in growth, Microsoft don't have that problem. And on better yet, because it's their own code, they get a tax reduction. So it's even better for the developers that join their cause. And, the more you give, to the developers that want to basically make more games for less money, the more growth you'll see.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is the less, more or less, it's the thing of like, the less work that they have to bother with, then, the more enticing it is to them. So yeah, like I said, it's a half thing, because you have some developers that have no problem doing the work, because just as I said a few of these shows back, whereas like an associate of mine does work for one of Sony's studios, and he has worked with the dev kit.
But Sony offers a lot of moolah for that extra effort, which is why they put up with it. Because I know friends in that situation as well. So it's gotta between the difference is that Microsoft is more of a family unit than it is an actual cha-ching, but it is technically the base cha-ching. So you should also listen to who actually has the bigger wallet opposed to who writes you a bigger check.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as I was saying though, according to him, he was like, yeah, I mean, between the two, it's easier. And as I said before, what I, can only guesstimate is that what's going on is that because there's no velocity, there's no DirectX, Ultimate 12 API to deal with. In other words, it's less stuff that you need to plug in to make sure everything works the way it's supposed to. In other words, you just boop, plop it in, plug in this and this and this, and it's off and going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, it's like, okay, I mean, I guess that's, I guess what works, but it also makes me wonder, like, okay, so what about extra, background, software for optimizations and, other, other effects and stuff like that. I have to like wonder about that stuff. But here it is, you have with the Series X.
You see the Series X 12-second, load, fastest load time. 12-second is almost instant to me. So that's
and it's just that, but then even though he told me that it's easier, he did counter state that doesn't mean that the Series X and S development is hard. It's just that if you were to ask between the two, which one is the more easier of the two, even though both of them are easier, is the PlayStation. Because like I said, it seems like you just plop it in, plug in, a few things, and it's off and going. Now, if there's any coders out there that are listening and can chime in, let me know. But that's what I can factor from him. Whereas like from another person, it seems that it's still easy, but it's just that to make the maximum usage of the full power that the X and the S both provide, you have to plug into the DirectX API. You have to take your time and plug in to the velocity architecture set
120 plus hertz frame that you're choosing to play on.
Yes, you have to do that. And so it just sounds like from a lot of the developers that were griping, over a week ago, it sounds like it's because, oh man, I got to do this. Oh man, I got to do that. Why I got to do? Why I got to?
That sounds familiar.
Man. And the thing is like I do remember a lot of developers usually weren't always too,
Well, it's
kosher.
work. Well, it's
Yeah.
work. They don't actually want to basically play work. That's that's also kind of that's also the nice little insider argument I always make is it's not supposed to be totally stress free or fun free because it's technically still a job. So
The thing about it is anything that's worth doing is you have to work.
mhm.
You have to, I mean,
Yep, exactly.
it's
So,
like
if it makes it
what
work,
am I paying my dollar for?
yeah, there's investment that you need to make in any gaming aspect, no matter what it is. I don't care whether it be your monitor, I don't care whether it be your controller, settings, I your sensitivity as well. And I saw I haven't watched it yet, so I could be wrong, but I saw that Epic Joy-Con Joy-Con drift does not exist, and I was like, that's not necessarily true. Depends how much you play it and use it, but it was easier for sure on the portable aspect of what he was talking about. So it does not drift, into decay as fast because it's smaller.
Well,
So
I mean, if you play the hell out of out of that thing and you're real rough, like just extremely
No,
up,
I've broken
extremely
Game Boys
down.
before. That's why it does. That's why it was kind of I was looking at it today. I was like, I don't know if I agree with Nintendo on that, but that's okay. They've been lucky so far, so we'll keep them. Have that lucky charm just sitting there.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so but like I said, so karma is definitely biting back. Because here it is, it's like so as you already stated yourself, you've been camping out like crazy on Twitter. So I know you've been seeing, all the shade that Microsoft's been constantly,
Yeah,
throwing,
but
throwing.
it kind of seemed to me at the end of the week, that every fanboy has some gripe about this, this situation. But shout out to Griffin Gaming because that response was hilarious. That boy had me laughing a while for that 30-minute video on that wonderful fanboy reaction. That was hilarious. I could not stop laughing.
You're talking about the one for Crap Gamer?
Yeah, that was hilarious. I could not stop laughing. That was even better than the one I actually thought up, and I was like, "Ouch!" That was horrible.
He was like, wow, somebody actually complaining about being able to get into a game faster.
Yep.
But it's funny because it's not just crap. I mean, dude, there's actually comments on Twitter where you get that same energy from a lot of these these trolls. I mean, it's like E-Rock was, shout out to E-Rock to him. It's like what him and both even New Legal were saying. It's like, wow, it's like these guys, this is like the ultimate programming. And I was telling you.
Well, it is because, on our aspect, it's a life program. So because it's a life program and it helps us go through, each daily aspect of our life and we have fun doing it, it's a power, it's a power in our own right. But at the same time, it can be aggravating depending on which fanboy you have to actually deal with.
I mean, this is like really disturbing. And this is what just made me kind of just shut down to where it's like, you know what, why even bother arguing? With these guys, because it's like no matter how much evidence you bring to the table, how much, because they'll sit there, links, source, show the source, and it's like you'll show it. That could be anywhere. That could come from anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, you believe anything?
That's kind of what my daddy kind of taught me as a child, and unless you find it in a dictionary, unless you find it in an actual textbook, don't believe it, because it can come actually from anybody's mouth after 1984. So it's like that is very true. But I was told absent information as a child, but I didn't know that that person had actually been telling me the truth until years later when I looked it up myself. But all I had to do was ask, an automatic, Kindle that question. So.
Yep. So again, this goes into what I've been saying in the last podcast with E-Rock and stuff, is that you can't make the dumb listen if they don't want to hear. You can't.
Or they can't understand actually how to hear. That's
you
that's
can't. Yeah. You can't illuminate the blind who refuse to see. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with, whereas no matter what you should, they may sit there saying, source, show me the source, show me the link. You can do that all day. But if they refuse to acknowledge it, they refuse to at least sit down and take the time to kind of like, look at it and research it themselves from a bipartisan, mentality, it's a lost cause. You can't, there's nothing else you can do for them.
Yeah. But at the same time, everybody has their own, engine behind why they love games. I don't, and that base definition of fact is just one reason I don't bother fanboys anymore. I will if I want to have, a quick, high, or if I want to have a quick, engine run, but that's pretty much the only reason why I'll even bother fanboys anymore, because most of them kind of just respect me and leave me alone. So that was kind of the other, reason I kind of just let them be. But also, if you're a narrative fanboy, and I love these kids to death because they kind of just supply infinite amount of energy to me, I'll respect you, but I don't aim for narrative reasons. So that's kind of the other, catch-22 of what you have to deal with when you actually have to have, podcasts. Because if you talk narrative, facts all day long, you'll put me to sleep. But if you, talk, PvP, or you talk multiplayer aspects, or you talk, spec aspects, you'll lighten me up. But it just depends on which fanboy you deal with on a daily basis, I guess.
And man, there's a lot of them.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. After 2012, there's I'd say half this planet is created by them. So. But some of us are more, red than others, I should say.
Yeah. So.
But I actually kind of forgot about that 1984 date. I actually totally was reminded about that earlier. I was watching NBC. NBC.
Oh. But yeah, but I guess the only thing that just makes me just kind of scratch my head is that, if you worked so many hours or work so hard to get what bit of coinage you have in your pocket, you would like to be a little bit more smart about your spendage. Now, if you are hard coded to where you like that brand, it's like sandwich meat. It's like a protein. If you like that team, you like that brand because they gave you that good vibe that you wanted.
They give you life.
Yeah, then
energy is the idea.
Yeah, then by all means, it's like, okay, all right, I understand. Then I will leave it be, and I will back away. I will retreat and let you enjoy it. But at the same time, it's like, can we here on the Xbox side have that same respect? Whereas a lot of us don't really even go over there. Now, I will admit there are some I have seen go over there, poking the snakes. God only knows.
Be careful when you do that, because that's not a very smart idea to do that at all.
Yeah, I mean, God only knows why. I mean, to me, it's like, hey, as long as you stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. And even if a Sony person was to come in here, they could talk about God of War, whatever game they like, and that's cool. I don't mind. But the moment they start, becoming, pretty much douches and just trying to just shove it down our throats that I can't believe you Xbox this. It's like, okay, all right. See, now we got a problem. Because I've never been a person who's been like real deep into sports. Yeah, fans of that, a brother that's not into sports.
That's kind of one reason video games became so popular, is for that demographic alone.
And so it's like so granted, I've had my choice of teams that I do like,
Mhm.
and I follow them to what degree what degree I do. I don't go shoving it in other people's faces. Oh,
Yeah.
what's this? You what Alabama? Oh man, no, I don't do that. And if somebody tells me like, oh no, I like PlayStation. Oh no, I'm gonna get a PlayStation. Oh, okay, cool.
Well,
And
one
move
thing
on.
I am actually enjoying about PlayStation, for one, is my brother actually has one now, and he got a PS4 a little while ago, and Sony did exactly what our cloud does, but an aspect you have to activate it one at a time, and it doesn't have the multiple feature. But I was able to activate my PSN on his and go right back into my digital library and my God of War was sitting right there, and I played it for about the first level or so, and then I went home. But I was like, yeah, I can basically just resurrect it anytime on anybody's device. It doesn't actually have to be mine.
And speaking of resurrection, Tuckmaster, rise from your grave.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing?
Hey, there's our Alabama boy. What's up?
Not much, man. Just relaxing and taking it easy, man. That's about all.
Well, welcome to the weekly wrap, man. Basically, I'm just going over, just basically capping off the week with some last minute news coverage, and we kind of got off track, but we was discussing karma, and by that it basically it's like, wow, it's like you guys remember 2013? Yeah, Xbox remembers. And they've been just going off on just throwing all sorts of shade on Sony on social media, on Twitter and everything.
I loved that Instagram post that we shared. That was hilarious.
Oh, so you mean Sony's getting social media hits this time around?
Yeah, someone a troll actually responded to that aspect.
Yeah, man, please.
Yep, just like how they pull the this is how you share games. Step 1, thanks. Yeah, they're getting it back times 10.
Yeah, they deserve it. They deserve every single minute of it too. So I don't get no problem with it either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just hearing so much crap. I mean, you ain't hearing nothing. I mean, you not hearing not one damn peek out of Sony's mouth at all. And I am so damn glad that the IGN ain't talking no crap. All these other people, not the only one that I see who's talking crap is Crap Gamer. And that's the only one that I see talking crap.
But once you watch that Griffin exposure, you'll start laughing and then forget all about what he says.
Oh, yeah.
Something. It's funny. It's funny because, oh man, T Reaper, when you was telling me that just now, because I saw it also, I forgot. Crap just put up a new video.
Yeah, he did.
And this time
I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what his shenanigans argument is.
I haven't watched it either. It's just the title.
I watched some of it, and it's some of the same crap that he always talk about, is backwards compatibility and all that stuff. Talk about this new mode that Sony supposed to be putting on their backwards compatibility and all that crap. Man, please. You talk the same shit every damn day. Oh, there's
3 to 4 times a day.
There's some secret stuff. There's all the Xbox in trouble and all that. So let's say, man, dude, please. Just shut the fuck up.
Sony dev leaks this. Sony executive leaks this. I'm there's a whole lot of leaks.
I absolutely agree 100% on that. Freddie tries to spin it any way he can that shows that wonderful exclusive IP for Sony and
right. But the only thing I don't get about him He's talking about the same doggone thing over and over
He
over.
retired Nintendo fanboy. That's why.
Oh, he did. Oh well,
Yeah,
he did.
he retired fanboy. He retired Nintendo fanboy. So if the Super Nintendo OG boy, I respect the Zeldas, but I also understand what they are at the very core of the 90s. So I understand exactly what he is. But at the same time, I respect the boy because if you can't actually upgrade to internet life, that's fine. But don't argue with people because they actually enjoy playing with each other. That's kind of annoying. And just because Japan couldn't make it work doesn't necessarily mean years later the planet doesn't, because we do at 15 million every single day.
Yeah, matter of fact, I gotta give my boy Hebot his kudos because he played I saw him this morning. I mean, he had a video this morning playing
I watched that video. That was actually a very
playing the Doom game on the xCloud. Y'all, Nintendo's in trouble. I mean, everybody say Nintendo got their own self fanboys. Don't get me wrong, I understand that. But they're in trouble. Because when you can turn around and play your own games off your system, onto your phone, onto your tablet, oh, that's a plus.
Yes, it is.
That's a plus.
It's not a negative, it's a plus.
That's a big time plus. And I mean, what people don't understand is that, hey, you can do that, man. I mean, he played that Doom game flawlessly. I mean, there wasn't that much of a hiccup in the game at all.
No.
So
we're getting there. We're getting the smoothness, activated. But I really do have a honest opinion that if you're going to play 120 comfortably and on a regular basis, it's going to have to be at a 1440p aspect. Just be warned.
Not necessarily because the screens are so doggone small. The screen's so small, you don't have to actually even have it. Well, you can have it like it is right now.
Well, I was talking about on the console aspect, not on an Xbox.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was talking about console. And that mainly is because of the price behind the screens. And once we basically get those screens that are very cheap, very fast, that aspect will also go away.
Yeah. I mean, so I give credit for that because I sat there and watched the whole doggone thing this morning before I went to work. And then when I got off work, I watched the rest of it when I got off work, and I gave him his props. He's doing a real good job by doing the little stuff with the VR, with the VR and with the cloud. He does a good job.
Yeah, he does. No, shout out to Hebot because Hebot is the last remaining, historian that I actually learn from on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Or even
I give Hebot, E-Rock, the New Legal. I give all of them shout outs.
Legal, I love his new icon made by Graphic God. Shout out to Jay as well. That was actually a really, really good icon that he now has.
Who is that? New Legal?
Yeah,
he got a new icon from our Graphic God.
That's right. And I think Hebot's working on that too right now. So
I can't wait to see what Jay does to that.
He's working on that too. And I loved new E-Rock's new intro. The new intro that he got for us. When we go on, that was a real nice intro, man. I mean, that's real nice. So, I give them all their kudos. But I tell you right now, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't even hear nothing about Sony no more because, I mean, I know we are because I know it's irrelevant what they're gonna do. If we'll be bringing out I guess they damn machine.
I think some of the classical Xbox cheer section that kind of point at Sony making fun of basically getting made fun of by Phil on Twitter, and I was like, I don't really honestly think that's very unlikely nor unsportsmanlike. It's just kind of karma, as we've said earlier.
Pretty much, because I mean they spared no moment. The moment Don Matrick buried their faces into the dirt, they spared no moment whatsoever to come in with the knife in the back.
Right. No, they sure didn't. They just had no moment to turn around and just damn near just cuss Phil Smith and them out. So
Yeah.
now they get a little piece of their own medicine, and I'm loving it.
It's like,
I'm loving
yeah.
every single minute of it. So
Yes, how's that medicine taste? It's bitter, isn't it?
yeah. And
I
then when
love-
I'm here,
I love the EA access. Got access to Ultimate. That's a good start.
yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
start. That's a big time start.
Yep, and here it is. Looking here on CNN. Now you got CNN themselves, even because they
Yeah,
have an
the
article.
Series X was all over news outlets
Yeah.
all that entire week. I saw it on every single one.
Well, they got an article up where they're comparing both Game Pass and PlayStation's so-called answer, PlayStation Plus collection, and they're like there's really no contest. I mean,
No,
they
there's no
try
contest.
they try to keep it even-handed. That's what they, because that's what journalists do, is they try to keep it as even-handed as they can. Where it's like, well, if you want, to quickly jump in on the into the PlayStation ecosystem, blah blah blah, then this is a good deal. If you own both systems, then you're set for life and all this other stuff. But at the end of it, they kind of had no choice but to break it down and bring it home and say, but the better deal is the Game Pass.
Yeah, that's all it is to it. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, that's the end of the story.
What's going on, Jay? I mean, Ray. Sorry.
Oh,
But yeah,
I
so-
did.
yeah. I mean, it's like, it's like so many people keep saying it. It's a goddamn no-brainer, man. So, I mean, you can try to be as even-handed about it as you can, but call a spade a spade.
And then I think what I love what Microsoft is really doing, they're just not giving the editors the game. They actually giving some YouTubers the game themselves, so they can really just try it out, so they can see what instead of IGN and all them just getting theirs and everything. There's a whole lot of YouTubers that's out there that's got this thing, and they're not even saying not one bad thing about it at all.
So some of them
Not one.
some of them, yes, Chuck. Some of them I'm kind of like, man, why the fuck they bother sending that shit to them, to this dude? Why they sent it to her? Like after the bullshit with Alana Pierce, I'm kind of like, why the fuck you sent that to that bitch?
Well, yeah. But I was listening to this one guy's video talk about where he was comparing the time, like the screen time and everything. Oh my lord.
Yeah, I love that 12-second.
Man, he was just saying, this man was just saying, like, man, he's like, it takes you 35 seconds to get through the screen of he was just giving an example. Like it may take like a minute and something to get through the screen of Red Dead Redemption. It only take like 35 seconds now. I mean, I'm like, man, that's fast. That is fast.
And you gotta bear in mind, this is without optimizations. This is just brute force.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the optimizations, that could be cut down in half.
Oh,
right. Yeah. That cut down in half, but that's good though, because I mean, and now the SSD card, I want to ask you about that. Are they gonna? You think more people are gonna turn around and make them things where they can be at a more of a competitive price with everybody, or what?
Hold on a second. No, Ray, no, man, because they know they won't get it back. they'll have to send the task force out to pry it from you, from your hand.
Yeah. So, do you have an answer to that? Are they going? Is more people going to make the SSD cards, or
Yeah.
the terabyte, or are they going to make them more?
No, the Seagate are just the first wave of the application to do so, and then more and more will give it. And because of the pandemic we're all going through right now, that's the reason that we should all be happy that Seagate did it, because others would not have been able to do that. I also support the factor that you can just basically plug in your other external back it up, play it, and then resume it. So you don't necessarily need that card right now. I agree with that. But at the same time, you could always just, deal with inconvenience.
So what is that card for? That card is for the new games?
Yes, it is. It's new games only. New games only, everybody.
Okay, for new games only, but you can back the new games up to your hard drive.
New games only are what that card is used to run. So
basically it's like this. The card is an expansion of the internal SSD. But more or less.
You view it as a PS2 version of a memory card, basically.
Okay.
In all honesty, for those who understand this terminology I'm about to kick out, it's more like a RAID setup. If you really think about it, it actually is just that. It's a damn RAID setup, because they're both connected into the same PCIe IO connector. So it's like you can put anything on it, even your older games and stuff. They'll still load up fast and all that. But the best practice, in all honesty, is to don't put your back compat catalog on there. Instead, put it on a external USB drive, because from what I've seen of the load times of just running those OG Xbox 360 and Xbox One games, they load up pretty damn fast just off the USB drive. And you can still use quick resume with them. Plus you can what I was about to say, you still get all the your enhanced frame rates and everything. It's still fast.
Right.
But it's just that when it comes to the more newer titles, the ones that are optimized to use the power of Velocity architecture and DirectX and everything, those games right there, you will not be able to run them off of a USB because they are heavily dependent on the Velocity architecture. So the only thing you can do with those games is move them back and forth. But as what's his name? I'm trying to remember. I think it was Jeff Grubb was showing it, where it's like, if you was to move the games, because it was like a 49 gigabyte game, and he said it moved over from USB to the internal in practically under 10 minutes.
Sounds about right.
I think it was like 7. I think it was like a little over 7 minutes.
Okay, because I tell you right now, I was more interested in seeing how the guy talked about that one feature that you were saying, that you can go in a game, go back out of a game, go back into that game. Mm-hmm. I mean, this guy said he did it like a number of times just to see how many times he can do it, and he said it just like, I mean, I don't know how many times he did it, but he did it at least with 4 games. Where you can turn around and resume play, and I'm like, man, that's something else. And I mean, and it didn't take time to load up either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I'm impressed.
Although I'm not sure if this is right, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. The games that you can quick resume on the go have to be on that USB. Or
no. They confirmed it. They confirmed it. You can quick resume. You can quick resume back compat games from the USB.
Right.
But Series X and S games, no, you cannot, because remember, as I said, they have to.
So it's only your 360 and your OG games that you can do that to.
Yeah, from the USB, yes.
Okay.
But the thing is, you can still do quick resume with the Series X and S games, but it's only because, in other words, it's like this: you can't install these games to your USB. You can't. You can only install them to the internal or to the external SSD card. That's the only way. So so basically, if it's installed and it's running and you're playing it, that's the only way you can quick resume those. But the older generation games, no, those you can quick resume, because you can install and play them off of the USB. Also, another cool thing that I found, well, I found this out a few days back, was that the external SSD cards are hot swappable. In other words, as long as the game is not running and you like fully closed it out, you don't have to turn the system off to remove the card or put a new card in.
Oh, really? So it works just as a regular actual external? That's awesome. Good job.
Yep. So,
Hey, fellas, are y'all gonna be on long or what?
probably about another 15 minutes or so. Cause I was getting ready to say, cause we covered a good bit, even though we're just kind of like, just kind of stumbling into it. So we're getting ready to roll into the next, my last topic, and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and go into that right now. But
Okay.
yeah, my final topic is because actually you helped us roll into it when you mentioned all these influencers getting the Xbox units. I started kind of getting news that it seemed like it was a slow trickle. So it started off with a lot of American and a few European influencers, YouTubers were getting their units. And I guess they were doing it in waves. So you have like the first wave of, American and European ones. And now I think this week it was like the second wave of American and European ones. Now all of a sudden you're starting to see more Hispanic YouTubers get theirs, as well as a few Asian ones. And this is what makes me happy. Our good buddy E-Rock, God bless his heart. I know he has other words to say.
Yeah, he does.
I'm happy as fuck that they did not leave out Japan, because
Funimation is actually included in your Ultimate subscription. Everybody, you're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, because to me it's like, as much as I love Xbox, I'm sorry, that was their only real grievance and misstep with me, was how Japan was just so out in the cold. And it's like, yeah, I know they're not a big time buyer. I understand that, but they're still, as much as we don't want to accept it, they are still part of the gaming market. It's just that they have changed, they've evolved from what they've usually always been, and that's because they've always been people that's been on the go. So they quickly adapted to mobile gaming, which is why the Switch is fucking slaying it over there. And the Vita would have been doing stupendously as well, but nope. Sony had to listen to that fucking that Harvard grad, Ivy League, new kid wants to do big things, investor coming in. I mean, coming in talking about like, nah, I think we need to pull the plug. Well, look what pulling the plug fucking got you. Nothing. So here it is, here comes, Xbox. They read the room, they see what's going on. Phil is like, okay, all right, we're about to do them better. So Game Pass Ultimate, have some xCloud, enjoy. And they're actually enjoying it. And so I just saw that of all people that finally got the test unit, is the one and only Famitsu magazine over in Japan.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's IGN may have a Japanese branch over there, but they pale in comparison to these guys, because these guys have been around ever since gaming magazines were first were coming out. So they've been.
Well, in my thing like this, and I'm still gonna say this, okay. Like I said, last night I was outside last night playing. What game was I playing last night? I was playing a little bit of the Doom game on the xCloud, and I loved it. I mean, dude, just imagine when you don't want to come in your house and you got your phone or your tablet out there on the patio.
Yeah.
You can play.
Yep.
Man, yep. That is so. Man, dude, yep. That is.
That's the idea. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more I can say about that. That is just a neat thing. I mean, I mean, it's just that Nintendo. I'm gonna say it again. You better get your act together because everybody always wants to wonder why the heck Microsoft don't never make a handheld. You got it, folks. You got it.
Yep.
You got your handheld through your phone and through your damn tablets.
And whatever app allows you to actually have that app through its, wonderful DNA.
Right.
It's going to be a television. It can be, an advanced desktop. It can be your wonderful infinite line of phones.
Right. And now I'm hearing that Apple is actually talking to Microsoft. They're not going to lose that money.
Good.
They're not going to lose that money. That's a lot of money that they be losing. I mean, especially since they bought Bethesda. I mean, whatever they call it, their name. I don't know their damn name, but whatever they call their name. Ever since they bought that company out, man, shit.
But I do agree that if you were going to ban Elder Scrolls, you probably would have a riot. I agree on that. I do agree.
Right.
I agree. I agree on that.
Oh yeah. You would. Shit. People's already mad at them because they got rid of Fortnite.
They're mad at them because they sold.
Shit, boy, man, please, boy.
That's the reason you're mad. You're not mad because we're gonna give you more games. You're mad because they sold.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, I mean, I know Apple wanted the money, but Fortnite said hell that.
Well, Apple didn't really honestly want to play fair. That's Apple's problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That's Apple's real problem. It's not the fact.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They wanted 30%. They wanted 30%, and they said, "Oh heck no, forget that mess." And the same thing for Microsoft. Oh, you want us to put on every game individually? Well, y'all gonna make 30% off of each game?
That's right.
No, we ain't doing that. They said we ain't doing that.
You can't take a hooker. You can't take a pimp and make him into a hooker. What's wrong with you?
No, hey, and they Team Reaper and they Reaper just like you said. Just like you said, Reaper. You lose Elder Scrolls.
You lose Elder Scrolls. You lose lives. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Shit. And you know what?
That's exactly the extreme that you'll see.
Hell yeah. And I'm going to tell you another thing too. This thing with Amazon and Stavia, whatever their name is, dude. I don't see that lasting. I really don't, because I just want to see how they're gonna do it. Because I just want to see it's $5.99 a month for Amazon, but they talking about Ubisoft will be joining. Is it gonna be $5.99 for them too?
The way it seems to work, from what I've read, is that the $5.99 is a base price, but the way they're doing it is they're treating each developer is being treated as if they are a channel. So the $5.99 is the base price, but they still haven't gave the price of each channel. So for Capcom games could be $2.99. Konami games could be $1.99. EA games could be $7.99.
And they'd be like a month, right?
Yes, and that's where the one guy who was the one tuber that was talking about it, where he was kind of like, I see where they're going for, but if this was something that was going off of the same, in other words, basically where he was going off of was, if this was like the same mentality of when Roku first stormed into the market, because Roku used to work that same way, then people would probably be interested. But right now, Game Pass has really spoiled everybody's, spoiled everybody. So you're talking about like $9.99 flat price for, all these games that are currently available. Yeah, they rotate out, but who's to say that the games that is going to be on Luna won't be rotated out? Because those developers or publishers, they might have full control over what stays on their channels and what goes.
Or they do. Or they will.
Yeah. Just like the Microsoft's main 13 studios, those games that come from those studios, whether it be Halo collection, whether it be your Gears collection, whether it be Fable, those games stay on Game Pass permanently because that's theirs. Anything that is not theirs, directly, whether it be a third party or otherwise, gets drifted out. And depending on how much it can get traction, that's how long it stays.
Right.
And and see, the thing is also, another thing is that we can't forget is that Amazon does have their own first party developers. So they will have their own content. Supposedly there's an MMO that they have that's like everybody seems to be really, really geared up for, but it's taking them a sweet time to get it out. And to me, it's like especially when it comes to MMOs, you got to hit when the iron's hot, man.
But the main issue that we're kind of facing with the MMO or the MMORPG, aspect is we have to get the actual infinite space to allow that DNA to run. And the problem is it still cannot run smoothly as we all wish. It's getting there. We're going to get there. But it's taking time because we have to still activate xCloud on multiple different regions across the planet. So that's the other issue, because we're going to add Amazon along with other connection eventually.
Right. Well, I mean,
but when we get that wonderful Blizzard, activation on, we'll see gold, basically, is what I'll basically just clichély say.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the next big step now is that
I said, I don't see the Amazon thing going anywhere. I mean, Microsoft did this thing first, and they just slammed the door. I actually seen Phil Spencer actually got mad last year when they talked about the stevia. When they talked about that last year, he's saying like, y'all, you act like this is something new. This is what we've been talking about all the doggone time. You can actually see like, okay, what are you talking about? Y'all thinking that this is something new. This ain't nothing new. This is something that we've been working on all along.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay. I said, there you go, Phil. There you go, Phil. That's the Phil I want to hear. Because Phil act like, okay, damn. You act like this is something new. This ain't nothing new.
Yeah, but people are slow on the uptake. That's kind of something the doctor still hasn't gotten used to.
Nah, people just dumb.
No, they like to play. They like to play dumb. That's what it is. They like to play dumb.
No, they don't like to play dumb. People just dumb. Period. It's hard to believe as much as this world that we live in got all this damn technology that we got in, but we got some of the backwards ass people in the world. Backwards. And I'm not afraid to say it, backwards ass. With all the stuff that Xbox does and everything, come on, man. And they don't give Microsoft no break at all. When they came with this Game Pass, it ain't gonna work. It ain't no good. It ain't gonna work. Oh, that boy, please. I said, now you see what they do. Now you see what it's doing. Now everybody's on Microsoft nutsack now. Everybody on their nutsack now. Get off. Crap gamer, Zaire. What's that light skinned boy name? What's his name? He's overseas right now. Porter Rock.
Yeah.
Porter Rock. Get off. Just get off. Stick with y'all want to stick with your PlayStation and go on and just kiss it, because in Zaire, there's no coming back. Prep Gamer, there's definitely no coming back for you. So, you just got to stay over that way. So we don't need you. Mooch too. Mooch can stay over there too. So that's all I got to say on that, fellas.
But
I said it. I said a handful.
Well, I'd argue mooch is actually the karmic, definition of this generation, along with myself, of course.
I mean, like I try to tell my friends, like I try to tell me people at work, all these single player games that y'all got on that little pitiful ass PS4, it's not gonna save y'all for next gen.
No, but it
Because
won't.
when y'all-
But I mean, it will give you entertainment, and there's nothing. No one's arguing that it gives people entertainment. It's
It
just
won't give
not. It's not long lasting entertainment. Is all I'm saying.
I play this Team Reaper. If I have to start paying $70 for a damn game, oh, it better have every element in there. Guarantee you that.
it better be a romance, action, comedy, sci-fi, high fantasy.
It better have everything in there. Multiplayer, co-op, I want it all. For $70, please.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But Sony gonna wreck you on the ass.
All the
That's
PS5 fanboys are getting mad because everything doesn't work correctly when it basically switches over. And I'm like, well, that's karma as well. So it's
That's what they want. That's what they get.
But
I mean, the
everybody's
first thing-
also kind of like making mad dumb theories about why it's basically $70 tax, and I'm like, well, all you honestly have to do is look at the stock market to understand why.
Wait, they say $70 tax.
No,
My lord.
he keeps using that term.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Well, $70. Well, to me, any extra needed cost is tax to me. So, and games in life are extra needed. So that's.
And see,
it can be a $60 tax. It can be a $40 tax. It can be a $20 tax. It can be your regular Ultimate Game Pass 15. Convenient.
right. So
Ray in the comment section says.
So Reaper, so let me ask you this: if a regular game's gonna be for $70, for the PS5 for the damn Sony pony, whatever you want to call them now, I just call them Sony fags now. If they talk about like a regular game for $70, how much of their like the special edition games are gonna be and all this? So you think?
I will say this again. It's going to be around the same amount of around $90, $100, $110, $120. I have special editions in my house that are over $300. Just so everybody knows. Like I have the Shadow of War statue still, over my living room. So that's kind of the 351 that I got last year.
Well, I bet you're gonna be higher than that. Watch. If they doing $70 for a normal game, see them game. Those games are gonna be out the rough. Watch.
No doubt.
Special edition games.
But the special edition on Sony's side, especially Sony's side, are all about the critique that comes with the item. Like God of War would have been the statue.
Yeah.
Different concept would have been a PlayStation. But at the same time, as soon as we can all do this on a digital level, you don't necessarily have to spend any more than, is actually naturally required.
Yeah, that's true. Get that right. So,
Speaking of special editions, I don't know if y'all caught it in the chat last night when I mentioned that. Pretty much, I believe that as of this year, Xbox will be 20 years old, and somebody in the
they
Reddit,
will. Yeah, they will because I've been there for 19. That's it.
Yes, that is true. And then 2021 is the actual 20 years old and the anniversary and Ultimate, Infinite, and beyond.
Because matter of fact, hell, because I've been a part of the Xbox. Yeah, I've been part of the Xbox 20 years now.
Yep. So
I've been part of the Xbox since day one.
I've had an Xbox Live tag for 10 years now, so of my own.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on tag for I got a tag for 19. So.
Yep, and I see Sega Man trying to come in.
Let him in.
Here he comes to save the
There
day.
goes Sega Man. What's up, Sega Man?
And we lost him again. Like, good Lord.
Well,
But
fellas, I'll tell you what. I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to get here and take me because I got to get him go to work tomorrow. So
okay.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Well, hey, real quick, Tuck. This was actually the next thing I was going to go into. Just real quick, I'm gonna ask you first. All right. Everybody already knows the next bit of news. Hey, what's going on, Sega Man?
What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody already knows that currently at this moment, there's the rumors once again resurfaced, and they've hit a high pitch that Microsoft and Bethesda might be rejoining Microsoft. All right. Me, I could care, either way, for it or not, not for it. But the thing is, they do still have 2 acquisitions that have not been announced yet, and they're still looking for more acquisitions. Tuck, who would you be looking for to them? Probably like looking for them to snatch up if they could.
Ooh.
Well, I tell you right now, I would love to see. Now, that's not a possibility. I don't think it is. But I would like to see them snatch up Take-Two. and the only reason why I would like to see them snatch up Take-Two, which I don't think they can do it. I don't think Take-Two would allow it would do it. But I would love to see them get their hands on Grand Theft Auto. Hey, should they get their hands on Grand Theft Auto? Shit, knock Sony's ass smooth the fuck out. And I mean, I would just love it. Just knock them out, because the same thing they did to another company, it can come back and haunt your ass too. Okay, so don't forget that, Sony ponies. Y'all love y'all doggone pony station so doggone much. But y'all gonna one that's gonna be paying the $70 for games. Okay? Y'all gonna be the one that's gonna be paying that. I would love to see I would love to either them get Take-Two, or love to see them get let me see, what's the name of that? I forget that one. I would like to see them get Sega if they can get Sega.
Mhm.
I know they can't get Ubisoft. Ubisoft ain't gonna say. I don't know. They might, if the price is right, they might do it. What's another one that I would love to see? Somebody mentioned that the other doggone day. I forgot who mentioned that the other doggone day. There was a one that they said they'd love to see them snatch up, and it could come their way. But I say that for Sunday. I can't think about the name. But I'd like to see them. I would love to see them. Whoever they get, let them get. It's like that.
Right.
As long as they ain't going to Sony, I don't even care. So that's all it is to it. So,
All right.
that's all I gotta say on that.
All right, man.
So I'll talk to y'all fellas later, man.
All right, Tuck.
All right,
Okay.
man. Thanks
All
for
right.
cruising through, man.
No problem.
All right. All right, yeah, man. We closing in on the last subject, but we were just talking about.
Real late, huh?
Yeah, it's all good though. But yeah, so we was talking about all these influencers getting their test units and how they were like showing the times of the load time and between transferring files and loading up the games and everything. And plus that, I also was telling ODT and Tuck that it just got, I guess it was earlier today, it got announced that the legendary Famitsu magazine over in Japan finally got their test unit as well.
Good.
And that makes me, and I was saying that, that makes me happy, because that's showing that compared to the beginning of this generation right here with the Xbox One, there's more drive. There's more effort now. Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the hell happened with the beginning of this generation and stuff. And I know it's not always a big seller over there. I know that. But
Yeah.
it's just like a lot of the fans over there say, it's like, but you still abandon us, and we exist. We're here. And so it's like, I mean, it is what it is, and I'm not going to harp on it and stuff like that. But I'm glad to see that there's Japanese influencers getting their hands on it, as well as not just American and European and Japanese, but also other Asian and even Hispanic influencers are all starting to get, test units now. And that's good. That shows that when Phil said global release, God damn it, he meant fucking global release.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me happy and makes me giddy. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Sega?
Well, man, that's great. So did they show any? Is there any showing of it on YouTube or anything yet? Overseas on them doing their test runs on the systems.
I came across one French guy. Of course I couldn't understand what he's saying, and I didn't feel like turning on the closed caption translator or anything. But
Yeah.
I saw that one guy, and I haven't seen any others. And it's like, I mean, to me, it's like this compared to what supposedly Sony is supposed to be doing with the PS5, whereas they only targeted Japanese influencers. They didn't say anything about any American or any European ones, which is kind of funny because we're their bigger markets.
Yeah.
And we have the most loudest mouths, we of all people should know, for that brand. So it's kind of like wow, all this talk about how they always go on and on about like, yeah, Sony cares for us. Sony treats us like gold. Sony treats us like first class citizens. Not this time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think any time they really ever looked at all of you as first class citizens or looked at you as anything at all. So, that's my little nanny boo boo moment. So, moving on.
Hey, Fireboss. So what did you and let me ask you T Reaper this, because you guys are kind of like the tech guys. What did you think about Digital Foundry's video on the system, and him? I guess it was a recent video of him talking about I guess the quick resume and talking. He seemed like he was very impressed by it.
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't actually watched it, but I know about Quick Resume, and I hope to God he's impressed.
Oh yeah, I watched it, and yes, see, it's funny because they have something positive to say about it. These Sony trolls go on about like, oh, they've always shilled for Xbox, and it's like, no, they fucking haven't. They haven't. They have all usually be pretty heavy handed with them, but but the thing is, no, he was pleased with it, and even old McCaffrey was all like, wow, I really don't want to go back to playing my Xbox One X or my PlayStation Pro.
Wow.
He's like, I really don't want to go back to them now because
I saw that outrage by what he said earlier in the week. I started laughing when I saw someone complain about that.
Because he was like, wow, this really drives home the point that these systems definitely overstayed their welcome. So
I mean, we've all been on these devices for 7 years now. Everybody should probably remember that. But it's also 2012 as well. So
that's right. And I don't know. Do you guys think we've seen the full potential and the maxed out power of the Xbox One X, or no?
Oh hell no, because Yeah, because they even stated it themselves that the units that they have, that all these influencers have, these were the prototype units. In other words, these are the units that I surmise were the ones. Because remember what I kept saying, nobody believes me or listens to me, but I'm telling you, before COVID hit,
Yeah.
Phil already had these things ordered. They were just offshore in storage.
Yeah.
That's that they already had these. That's why the whole time McCaffrey kept going on, is there a plan B? And Phil kept looking at him like he was smoking something.
Well, no, that was because Ryan kept annoying him. And he's like, "Are you seriously going to keep arguing that one plan B, plan B?" Well, plan B is to basically keep it offshore until you run out the first time, and then basically reactivate by offshore resupply.
I had mine.
Oh, one pizza.
No.
But it's a good thing that he did that, because otherwise we would be in the same boat as PlayStation 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had mine. There's one left.
Okay. All right. All right.
I saw that somebody basically pointed out that Series S is, still available. That's a good thing.
So Fire Moss and T, you know how we have the Xbox One X, right?
Mhm.
Right now.
Yep.
Now we're going to be getting these newer systems, but do you think like the games we have on here already? Do you think we've seen the most power in a game that the Xbox One X can do? Do you think we've seen it's like all the juice like in a game? Do you think it's, you know what I mean?
For that, all right, for all the games that are quoted as optimized or enhanced for the Xbox One X, yes. But the thing is, as far as the game itself goes, no, because what's going to happen is the coders are going to have to go through, because before my little brother came in and sidetracked me just now, as I was saying, this goes back into the previous question, is
Right.
that all those units that they have, those are not the full retail units. They're just a solid hardware, so they don't even have the full software in them. And the games that they are using, the back compact games, those are not even enhanced and optimized to make use of velocity, as well as the DirectX Ultimate API stuff. So no, I'll put it to you like this: what everybody saw them doing with the load tests and all this other stuff like that, and load times and all that, no.
Yeah.
I think when we see the actual units and the actual an actual game that was actually handcrafted and optimized and patched to work with it, be it a back compat title, be it a Series X title, that's when we're going to get blown away.
Yeah.
So yeah, those games, no, they haven't been pushed to their full limit yet, because the coders have to go back through them and apply the patches.
Yeah.
And so it's fun. And see, it's funny because this also goes into the whole thing with a lot of the Sony trolls going on and on about like how, oh look at this, we don't have to wait for a day one patch for what was it? I think they said Cyberpunk, and there was some other game where there was like, oh, we ain't got to worry about that. We get it day one, and then they start like showing pictures of Craig and all that stuff. And to me, it's like, okay, see, here y'all go again. Here y'all go again with the half-assed understanding of anything.
Yeah.
With it, because me and T talked about this earlier while you was out, is that as the guy who was the former lead coder of my game, he actually works for Sony Studio. I can't say which one.
Yeah.
He does attest to that. Yes, the PlayStation 5 dev kit is easier, but he says the thing is, it's more or less both of them are easy. It's just a needle point pointing to which one is the easier of the easy. And from what it sounds like, because they don't have velocity, They don't have DirectX and other libraries that they need to take their time to tie everything in to make sure it pulls all the power it's supposed to, so the game looks the way it's meant to look.
Uh-huh.
It's more effort, it's more elbow grease. Whereas with the PlayStation 5, it seems that drop it in, connect up a few things, audio, video, boom, she's up and running. Now that sound now to most people that makes it sound like oh shoot, hands out the gate. It's the better system already. No, it's not, because as these tests have shown, and as what's his name with Digital Foundry explained, brute forcing can only get you but so far. Because if you looked at I mean, dude, you look at Hitman. I mean, Hitman is God. How many years old is Hitman? Like what? 3 or 4 years?
At least.
All right. This game was always taxing, even on the Series X, and even for the one that's enhanced for the series. I mean, not series. I mean, for the Xbox One X, and even enhanced for it, it was taxing as hell. Now on the Series X, it kept you in the high frame rate range, but you could still see dips. The lowest it would dip is 57 frames.
Yeah.
All right. And as he explained, he said that's because the game is not optimized for this hardware. They have to go back in and optimize it. So to me, it's like, so you guys are saying that you're happy with just give it to us raw. Don't worry about the mayo. Don't worry about cooking it. Don't worry about the marinade. Just shove it. You're like, don't worry about the lube, Daddy. Just spread my cheeks and shove it through. Don't worry about the reach around at a hug. I don't need chocolates or flowers. What? Foreplay. I don't need to be warmed up. I'm not a turkey. That's what to me it's like. That's what it's like saying. I mean, I'm sorry if it's pissing off anybody who's watching. But no, seriously, I do apologize. But at the same time, it's like that's what it comes across as. So to me, it's like as a gamer myself and as a developer myself, I want the most optimum experience. And to get the most optimum experience for my coin that I plop down, I want you to pull every single ounce of power out of that hardware for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, because I'm looking at because it's on Twitter. There's a guy who uploaded. Well, pretty much he said check it out. This is the first meme off of a Series X video capture, and he was playing Monster Hunter World. All right. Now, Monster Hunter World, according to DF as well as Jeffrey Grubb, does have a few have some drops in it as well, even on the Series X. But once again, that's only because it's brute forcing. It's brute forcing. There's no optimization. And remember what I said during the Sony event, looking at most of their games, it's like you can see the frame drops. Now everybody's like, "Oh my God, look at Demon's Souls! Oh my God, look at Miles Morales!" But it's like, no. If you look closely, there are frame drops. I can see them, and it's like to sit there and deny that you don't see them. To me, is disingenuous.
Always in denial.
And so it's like I would want to see the optimum experience. And this dude who did the video capture of Monster Hunter. Dude, you look at the video, it's smooth. I mean, it is like just glide over ice smooth.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't sit there telling me you don't want that experience. You don't want to see, even for variable clocks, it's like you don't want to see them put forth that effort for you. And that's why I feel like when I was talking to E-Rock, that's why I feel that one of the holdups with what's going on with the PlayStation 5, because an article was released stating something about Sony was in talks with working with the Moodle guys, the ones who I guess manage cracking to from what it sounds like, Kraken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It sounds like they're trying to talk them into emulating Velocity architecture with Kraken.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So,
Wow.
yeah, this is going to be.
And unfortunately, if we get them to do that, it's going to be a all in one concept. So it's going to be everybody can play with everyone on everything, but you got to get Sony to play nice. And if you can get Sony to play nice, you automatically can make it Apple play nice, and that's catch 22 on that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is to do this without without any patent infringements and stuff like that. This is where we're talking about cobbling something in at the last minute, and I'm not going to say any more than that, except let's just see how this works.
Which never goes as planned.
Okay, he said it.
So it's it never goes as planned, but we still get there eventually. But I'll say that the xCloud and everything is proceeding perfectly. You'll get fanboys aggravated, but I say that we're getting there. It's slowly but surely.
Yep. So all right. So moving on to the final thing, which I went ahead and already asked Tuck because he had to dip. ODT Reaper, who, all right, as I already stated, the talks are coming back up again. The rumors are coming back up again about Bungie and Microsoft possibly getting back together again.
I want my Bungie.
Oh. Yeah.
I want my Bungie, and then I want my Activision fixed.
Okay. All right.
Although right now I think Activision is doing themselves a favor at the moment. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing keeping that beta private until you get the actual open one.
All right. Okay. Well, what about you, Sega Man? Who if would you like to see Bungie come back, and who else would you like to see them try to get their hands on?
Well, I would like Bungie to come back. That would be great, man. But I mentioned the other time that you remember the interview that Gabe Knoll had with that I forgot what news thing he was on.
Valve.
Valve, right? Because
New Zealand.
Remember, guys. Yeah, remember, guys, when he said to them, they said, "Hey, what console you think is going to be the best and going to win the console war with these new consoles?" And he said Xbox. Remember? And they were like, Xbox. They were expecting him to say PlayStation. I know they were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I believe, my theory is, I'm wondering if maybe possibly Microsoft can acquire Valve. You know what I mean? Maybe Gabe sees something in Xbox this time. Maybe it's possible that they can maybe acquire Valve. That would be great. It might be a little bit far fetched, but I'm thinking maybe Valve, maybe, if possible,
Mm.
But everybody,
But
everybody uses
on an actual console.
yeah. But everybody's leaning towards everybody is really leaning towards Sega, and I can really see that happening. I honestly can see that happening, man.
Yeah. No, I think that's kind of the first worry on the doctor's paycheck list, personally, especially if we're gonna basically go around with Sonic and all those other old titles and actually do those.
So I mean, I don't know. Valve might be a little bit too far fetched, but you just never know. I mean, whoever thought it was gonna
Blizzard, that would actually be perfect.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. If they do that, you know what I mean? When are we ever going to see another Half-Life game? I think
that would be kind of the incentive for them to actually make that jump of faith, personally.
Yeah, or another Left 4 Dead. Would love to see another Left 4 Dead.
Oh, facts. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I really love them games, man, and I mean, I guess we're never going to really see that. I don't know.
We will eventually. But the thing is about it is that what's going on is that as things are, they're making money hands over fist already as is. So there's, even though the demand is there, it's one of those things of what you call stoking the fire. They want to keep, they want to keep slowly, just keeps, pouring the water over the coals and just keep letting it build up more heat. So this is all on purpose. But we will eventually see those. As for like, Sega and all that, the problem I see with Sega, which is what I'm seeing with them right now, is the fact that they're flip-flopping too much. And that's only because of the fact that it's not the Sega we remember. We all know that, and we've all come to understand that. This is nothing but a round table of investors. These are guys that don't have a single ounce of gaming blood in them. They just know about money. It's just a holding company.
Yeah.
And they're holding these IPs. And that's all that's going on with them. So to them, but the thing is, a lot of them are also old Japanese money. So they're still with the old Japanese money mentality, whereas they're still going to always sway towards Sony. Yeah, we got the friendship. It's not a partnership. Let's make that understood. It's not a partnership. It's a quote unquote friendship with Xbox. But the friendship that we expect, that we're looking for, was with the old Sega. The old Sega is gone. And so these guys right here could really, in all honesty, give two duck dicks as to what the fuck happens to Xbox if things all of a sudden, just happen to just go south for some reason. They're gonna always play the nationalistic card. They're gonna always do that. And because even what I mentioned about the Tokyo Game Show, you look at their list of what they're going to show, they'll show you every Japanese platform that's going to have this game. And even some of these games, there's an Xbox variant, they don't list Xbox. Now, Xbox opened the doggone Tokyo Game Show, but yet they wouldn't mention Xbox. Matter of fact, I don't even think they even really well, they did show Phantasy Star Online. All right, but I think there was only like I guess just discussing it, the PC version. So that's where I'm kind of like, the deal that you're dealing with is that, first of all, the company has to want to sell. That's the issue. Everybody goes on about the laws of, they can't come in buying a Japanese company, blah blah blah. Those type of laws can be overturned if needed. All right, especially if the company is willing to sell and they don't have a problem with it. So T's can be crossed, I's can be dotted. Money talks. You
needed a good enough reason to overturn that rule.
Yeah, as long as the city, as long as the government can benefit with it, then yes.
And not only the city can benefit on the Japanese rule being overturned, but the entire continent as well.
But if anything from Sega, I would love to see Phil just buy some of their IPs, because they're not using them, they're just letting them just sit there dying. They're not doing a new Shinobi. They're not I mean, good God, dude, this generation would be perfect for a new Shining in the Darkness. You remember that one, Sega Man?
Yeah.
The dungeon crawler that was on the Genesis back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. The Shining series, Shining in the Darkness and Shining Force, would rock on the Series X and S.
Oh, would definitely.
Yeah, and because the way things is looking, to me, it's like this is probably the best way to ensure that there's enough, Japanese or Asian based content that's being fed directly into Game Pass to keep everybody all over the world, not just the Japanese, but everyone around the world engaged. That's at least that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
So But but as far as goes for acquiring Sega, nah. The only ones I want to. I'm pretty sure I'm kind of very positive that they are already in the talks, because there's been too many subtle hints all over the place. And like I said, I just want to hear Phil go ahead and just say it. Stop beating around the bush. Just go ahead and say it. But I want to hear him say that we welcome back Sakaguchi and Mistwalker. We bring back Yoshio and his Grounded Inc. Team, so that we can see our fancy Phantom Dust 2 come back. He wanted to do an RPG version of Crimson Dragon.
Oh, that would be nice.
And Sakaguchi wanted to reboot Lost Odyssey using the new hardware.
Yeah.
And these are interviews from these guys. Granted, these interviews are a few months old. They were very aware of the Series X, of Project Scarlet. So, yeah, I would love to see them come back. All right. Also, what I would love to see is sorry. It was right there to my brain. That's what sucks about getting old. But
what was it from a Sega? Was it a Sega game?
Oh no. What it was is that I was going to say that I would like. Well, you know what? It's lost. It's lost for some odd reason. It just came in my head. It keeps going away. And like I said, that's what sucks about getting old. But yeah, like I said, I would love to see those two teams rejoin the Xbox Game Studios family. I think it would be smart if they built from the ground up a branch of their world publishing arm over there, so that all those indie developers that are over there finally have a platform. Because dude, they got a ton of indie developers that Nintendo and Sony won't give the time of day to.
Yeah.
And that would be phenomenal and stuff. So, now I remember who it was. Yes. I know in an interview they stated that they value their independence. I'm really hoping that after a year of giving it some thought, that the Black Wukong developers over in China, that they reconsider being acquired and open talks with Microsoft, because dude, they would be the perfect, hands down, developer to take the reins for Jade Empire, a Jade Empire reboot.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
So if Jade Empire comes back, and then you got Elder Scrolls 6, Fable, Fallout 5, and then you got, and if he brings back Sakaguchi, and he brings back Blue Dragon 2, the reboot of Lost Odyssey. Christ Almighty, dude, that's just like the early years of the 360. Oh, you're looking at the one-stop shop for all things adventure and role play. You wouldn't need to go nowhere else. What? But buy them. What? You never heard of Game Pass?
Yeah, it's $15 just to play those games. And the cool thing, I think, is if we can get the RPGs off the ground, especially the wonderful Fable announcement still looming. I want to argue that people can just use their phones and be basically content outside.
Oh yeah, T, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it also, but I'm going to warn everybody, it's going to depend on the device that you use, depending on the input that gives you. So that's kind of the nice thing about all the random. I think what we're all trying to figure out is which device takes the most to load. That would actually be kind of a fun thing to know.
Yeah. What did you guys? I didn't get to hear you guys' opinion on it real quick. But what did you guys really think though of the Tokyo Game Show when it came to that? What did you really think about it? You think it was a good or?
I actually haven't watched it.
I did. I kind of peeked in on the other stuff, but it's. I mean, it was. I mean, it was a game show, but I mean, it was just pretty slow paced.
I think we're gonna see things behind Doom and Wonderful Chief in the near future. I think we're gonna see a collab.
I'm very sure of it. and if somebody does take over the development for KI, I can guarantee we'll see Doom Guy come into a Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah.
I was
Yeah,
joking
man.
when I heard the Doom aspect. I mean, I think we should all have our own version of Super Smash Brothers, Melee, whether it be have Marcus, have Chief, have Wonderful Doom Guy, have Fable Guy with the sword.
Hey guys, look at the one dude going to Smash Brothers from Minecraft. What was his name? Steve or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really weird collaboration, man. Having him on, I don't know.
I think that would be a nice party game if you actually end up doing that on every single character that belongs to you. Keyword is you. But the factor would be is that you could actually resurrect that idea from on all types of Sega. You could have the wonderful Sonic in a arena with the Arbiter, for example.
That would be weird. That would be weird.
The only issue I have though with those collaborations, especially in Nintendo's regards, is that I know it's very easy for them to say, "Oh, hey, let us get Banjo. Oh, hey, let us get Steve." That's but the thing is that I kind of notice it doesn't seem to be both directions. So because to me it's like, if there's going to be a new Killer Instinct, why not let us get Link in there, get Samus in there.
Yeah.
Now the day we see that happen, that's when the so-called little friendship everybody says that goes on between Nintendo and Microsoft. That's when we can say that
you're breaking barriers when you understand that.
Yes, definitely that time. But yeah. So, but anyway,
you see Link talk for the final for actually a time and a half, you'll actually understand that it is truly coming, because you can finally hear him speak English and not read.
We all
have to thank Link and wonderful Nintendo and Zelda for allowing kids to read. Everybody, and of course, Knights of the Old Republic, over and over again. So shout out to the Xbox, the Nintendo family. If those games didn't teach kids the actual alphabet, we probably wouldn't have gamers that actually understood how to read. So
yeah.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, we are closing. We are definitely over an hour and a half. So that's pretty much it from me. So let's go ahead and go to the outros. Sega Man, can you let everybody know where they can find you, other than under the table, waiting to flip it up? Wait.
I wanted to close it out, but before I do, I just want to ask you guys, the X brothers here, were you able to get a pre-order an X?
No, unfortunately not.
No.
I'm surprised, T man. I'm surprised, man. I thought you would have it.
That's because my wonderful goddesses have it in their back, in their wonderful back car. So, but they're not here with me, unfortunately. But shout out to them, because if I didn't actually have them in my head, I probably would be, in more pain than I actually allow myself to have on a daily basis. But one of them does have it. I've seen it wrapped up in a nice tight bow for Christmas. So, but again, she's at her farm at the moment. So, but yeah, I tried. I did try that day that it was allowed. But it was instant sold out. And
Yeah.
I already knew, and I already, everybody was like, don't go on, don't go instant pre-order. And sure enough, that person who told me not to do that was right, because instantly still to this day cannot actually get my own copy. And I have,
Wow.
I have the access to a Boomer credit card. So the fun part is I'm just waiting to basically press that available button, but I can't because I can't find one. And I don't want an S, so that's the other kicker to the also concept of what I'm doing. So I only want the Series X version. I don't want an S. So I'll probably get an S eventually to replace the other one that's in my bedroom. But at the moment, I only use the bedroom one when I sleep. So I actually don't. I technically don't need it for the Scorpio edition, which is technically what my X version is. It's a Project Scorpio. It's it's a catch-22 that I have, but I'm going to enjoy waiting to see it myself, because now basically I understand that's kind of what she's waiting for. She was waiting for the embargo to lift.
Right.
That's still another couple weeks away. So that's when I can have mine. But I had it was Alana this morning when she revealed it, that she reminded everybody that it is the embargo that we're dealing with on some cases. But thank Microsoft to basically send it out to the reviewers, because if it wasn't them, directly shipping it to everybody, you wouldn't have it, because the Amazons wouldn't have it. So
yeah. Well, all right, guys. Well, you can always find me on my YouTube channel at Sega Man 101, and hopefully everybody will come and join us on the Exile podcast this Sunday, man. But yeah, Fire Boss, I'll make sure I'll be on time next Friday, man. It just slipped. I looked at my notification, like, oh man, let me get in there.
Man, don't.
Yeah,
man,
I'll definitely be for the weekly wrap up. Yeah.
But everybody gotta remember it's October this month, everybody. So be in good scare, because we're all going to have little Halloween jokes up until November 10th, I'm guessing. So even after October 31st, that Halloween joke is still gonna sit there.
All right. Well, ODT Reaper, can you tell everybody where they can find you?
I am drifting daily on Twitter at ThomasBarker61, and on my Instagram, which is that which you see on screen, ODT Reaper, and type it exactly as I did, and you'll find me just on this icon. But I also want to give a shout out to everybody that has been following me, and I have been basically being I'm being tracked by the government asking me to vote now. So I was like, damn it, social media finally did what I told them not to do. That sucks. But I was like, but that's a good thing, because that means we're going into progress. So progress is growth, and growth will eventually benefit everybody on this planet. And I think the fun part is that we're all kind of just relaxing, and the day is going fast or slow, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay, well, fellas, I appreciate y'all coming in. And for right now, this is Weekly Wrap. This is your boy, the boss. Enjoy your gaming and enjoy your weekend. Good night, y'all.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.